What is going on, everybody? Art Eddie here for the Geek Show at Life of Dad, and with me, of course, is my co-host, Patrick Rinn. What's up, sir?
What's going on, everybody? Nothing happening over here, but wherever you guys are watching from, listening from, whatever you're doing, I can't discount the blind who aren't really watching. Just throw up your comments. Let us know where you're watching from. We'd love to hear it. Our furthest country so far, Art, has been, I think, Algeria.
Yeah, Algeria, Estonia, maybe like that. Yeah, something along those lines. But our guest today, as you can see above there, above there is Lisa Yee. She is author of a lot of great books. The book we're going to be talking about mostly is going to be the new book that comes out next month. It's Katana Superhero High, and you have a chance to win this book as well. We're going to be asking a question later on, but without further ado, let's bring her on. Hi, Lisa. How you doing?
Hi. Good to see you.
Yeah, we're big fans of your work here at Life of Dad. We love everything that you do, from obviously DC to the different other books that you've had. Before we get into the Katana book and all those great things, talk about how you got your start in writing in your first book.
Well, my start in writing was very uneventful. I used to write like labels for cans of beans and heating instructions. And, things
I think that's how Shakespeare started also, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's like not very glamorous. I wrote jingles. I won't sing any of them to you because crash the internet entirely. But, I'd always wanted to write books, but I was scared to do it. So I wrote, everything else possible. I was a journalist. I wrote for television, slogans, menus. And then finally I realized that, I was kind of being a hypocrite because I used to tell my kids, if there's a dream or there's something you really want to do, you have to go for it. And here I was, I was a mom then, I had a job and all this kind of stuff, and I wasn't writing books. So I started staying up until 2 and 3 in the morning and writing every night. And that's how I got my start being an author.
That's awesome. Very cool. But first, again, I really want to talk about this book. And it's funny, too. Like, at the end of each book, you kind of tell the reader who is going to be the next hero. And when my daughters, we're big fans of comic books. I'm wearing my Green Lantern t-shirt. Unfortunately, my Supergirl, Wonder Woman, Batgirl t-shirt didn't really come on because it's all gray and you can't really see it. But we're big fans of all superheroes. And when she found out that Katana was going to be in this book, after reading the Supergirl book, she was excited. And then when I told her I was talking to you, both of them, but my oldest, Lily, reads your book. You always see the pictures where she dives in right in the books. How fun was it? Because, you got Supergirl and Wonder Woman. You have, the type of character that everybody knows. But Katana, until Suicide Squad and some other things, people really didn't know. And even in the movie Suicide Squad, you didn't really you got some backstory, but didn't get the whole thing. How cool is it to kind of introduce this character to not only young readers, but adult readers as well?
It was awesome being able to write about Katana. What happened is, we had the big three, like you said. We had Wonder Woman, and then we had Supergirl, and we had Batgirl. And I had this meeting at DC, and they were asking me, we were going to brainstorm about who the fourth book should be. And so I was like, it's got to be Katana. I mean, she's this Asian samurai superhero. No, people don't know about her yet. And I had like this whole list of reasons why it should be Katana. And I go into the meeting and I say, it should be Katana, and here's why. And before I even got to my list, everyone's like, yeah, that's cool. Okay. I'm like, but don't you want to hear? They're like, no, that's cool. And it's like the great thing is that not a lot of people know about her yet. So to be able to write about where she came from, and I go back into some mythology about the samurai. I have her grandmother being the first female samurai superhero, and Katana is trying to live up to that legacy. But her grandmother disappeared when she was young, and she doesn't know what happened to her or where she went. And a mystery starts to revolve from that.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Patrick, go ahead, man.
Oh no, I was just amazed by the story. Like, I love it. I can't wait to get them for my daughter. Actually, she's big into, like, she reads big, thick books, but then the second I give her any comic, she just abandons all of it. My son also, he actually will only read comics. So I can't wait to pick these up actually and throw them on the kids' Kindles and all that. So yeah, very excited.
Well, the great thing about these books is they're novels. And so we can really go into depth about the characters and their backstories and what's going on with them and really tap into their emotions and things like that. Because with the DC superhero girls, there are so many levels. You know, you have your cartoons and you do have your graphic novels, there's comics, and then there's books. So any type of reader, any type of fan can enter the world from any different door.
Yeah, absolutely. Love it.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about this world. And also, too, one of the things that we started getting on to this was the DC Superhero Girls line that started, the series. And there's obviously toys and action figures and all along those lines. I think that this is something that people, not just girls, but boys, too, it's great to see, characters that aren't just men. And the strong characters, like especially now when the Wonder Woman movie came out, it was fantastic. A lot of people were digging it. I know that I was excited for it. And I know that I can't wait to take my daughters to see it as well. But for you, talk a little bit about the importance of superhero characters that are women, that are strong, and all that.
Well, I think it's really important that people see themselves in the characters they read or they interact with. And for me, growing up, I mean, I'm Chinese American, I'm Asian. I don't know if you could tell, but I am. There were no female Asian girl, there was none of that. And just in terms of the superhero world, I mean, yes, we had Wonder Woman and I even had that Wonder Woman hair and everything. Because Linda Carter was my role model. I came into it from television.
I used to have a Linda Carter poster through college, and it was the best poster ever in her old Wonder Woman costume. It was fantastic. I loved it.
Yeah, I can do that spin, but that's who I was able to identify with. And then as we move on today, it's like DC has this treasure trove of characters that we can delve into. And so when we started the DC Superhero Girls, it was amazing the response we got, because here were all these girls that wanted to be a part of this world, that suddenly were invited into it with characters that they could relate to, characters that they could identify with, characters who they wanted to be friends with.
Absolutely. I love it.
And one of the cool
man, it looks like we may have lost Art.
No, I'm here. Do you see me at all or no?
Know that I can destroy the internet, which I think that's what's happening. I
have a question. I have a question for you. You said you started writing like when you have kids. How hard was that because I mean, knowing like as parents, like you have such limited time. So like doing your stuff, like you said, you would stay up late until 2 a.m. I'm a morning person. So when I need to get stuff done, I need to be up before them. I need to be up and out, or like, down at the pool by 5 a.m., something like that. So like, how did you manage that? Like, staying up so late, but then the kids are still going to get up at 2 a.m. when you started actually writing your books. What did you do to make that happen?
I didn't sleep. I mean, literally, I didn't sleep. I had a full-time job. I had young kids, but it was so important to me to do this, to start writing, that, I just started writing every night. I would start like around 10 or 11 when the kids were in bed, and I would write until I just couldn't keep my eyes open anymore. And that's how I got my start. In fact, I sent in a manuscript into what's called the slush pile, which means if you don't have an agent or an editor or anything, to Arthur Levine, the editor of the Harry Potter series, because I really wanted him to be my editor. And he pulled me out of the slush pile, and he discovered me.
Gotcha. That's awesome. All right, it looks like we might have a couple of tech issues here. Beverly is saying that your video is frozen, Lisa. So if you wanna refresh your page, maybe you think Art that would work, Art? I think Art's back now.
Can you guys see me now? Am I here?
I can see you now, Art. You're so handsome.
I can see Art. Hi Beverly. I could see she's saying Lisa's video is frozen. Why? Hi Victor. I don't know what I have done. Shall I refresh my page?
Yeah, just refresh your page there, and then just re-click on the thing just like you did before, and then you should be back, no problem. While she's gone, Art, should we start up a little round of Geek Out?
Sure, yeah, do that, man.
All right, and everybody can play along with us now. I'm going to read off a thing. We just got to start naming stuff. Okay, Art. 2 Hobbit family names. 2 Hobbit family names. Lisa, you're back, and you can play. You can join in too.
Oh, okay.
We're testing your geek knowledge. You got to name 2 Hobbit family names. It's just randomly off this card.
I am drawing Hobbit a blank.
Say Baggins. Say Baggins.
Baggins, the hairy feet.
The Sackville Baggins is the what's Sam's last name? I don't remember. The Gamgees.
Gilwise or something like that. I don't know.
Gilwad. Come on now.
No, I said Gilwise or something. Also, too, people, if you want to win a copy, like I said, Lisa was kind enough to give us a few copies. If you want to win a copy of this, email me, art@lifeofdad.com, your favorite DC superhero girls character. We're going to pick a random person, and you get this book, and depending on when you answer and when we select someone, you might get it before it comes out of on shelves. It's July 4th, correct, Lisa?
Yes, it comes out July 4th. And by the way, I love what Chris said about your question. He said the other one was Kardashian.
That's how they got their start. They got their start in the Shire,
yeah.
and then they moved on to bigger and better places in Hollywood.
Trolls or hobbits, whatever you want to consider them, right? Lisa, also talk to us a little bit about, what type of research you did for, this book and this series, actually.
Well, I love to research, and so I was forced to go to Japan. Well, not forced, actually. Oh my God. So I really wanted to get seeped in the samurai history. So I went to Japan, and I researched there, and I also took ninja training so that I could learn how to use a sword. I could learn how to use throwing stars and daggers and sneak around, and all in the name of research. All in the name of research. So
especially with that, I mean, for other books that you've written besides DC, I mean, when you've done stuff for American Girl, I know you went to Brazil and all that, I mean, is that common practice for people to, like, I mean, I think you go all out, and it shows in your writing, because your writing is fantastic, but, like, is that common practice for others, or no?
I don't know. For me, it's a great excuse to travel. I mean, like when you're talking about, when I was writing for American Girl and I went to the Amazon rainforest and I ate grubs.
Were they good?
Wasn't so fun, but
were they good? When you ate the grubs, was it terrible?
I ate the grubs, they tasted like chicken. But when you experience it, at least for me. It kind of like sears in your brain, and when you're writing it, you can call back all those experiences that you had. So I love to do that whenever I can. Obviously, I can't always do that. And for the DC Superhero Girl series, I can't go to Mars and things like that. I did do some what's it called when you fly on a what's that called?
A zip line?
And zip line, yeah. I did some zip line flying because I felt that I should know what it's like to fly, And I remember, like, I got up there and they said, you have to keep your hands, on your side next to your body. So I'm like, okay. And the first thing I did was I put my arms out when I was flying. Like, look at me, I'm Supergirl, So it's a great excuse to do stuff like that.
That's great. Our buddy Victor has had a great comment here. He said, I think Lisa doesn't need a bodyguard at her signings after hearing the training she's done.
Yeah, I need Victor, I need a tech person for my phone and my laptop. That's what I really need.
That's our buddy Victor from Fan Dad. So, and he said before that he's one book behind. I think that was him that said it too. So he's obviously a big fan of yours already too. So that's great. I'm glad he's watching today.
Hi, Victor.
Jose says right over here that that he loves watching DC.
Oh wait, all right. Are you talking?
Yeah.
All right, sorry, you were muted there for a second. At least for me, I couldn't hear you.
All right, DC superhero. Jose Salas says he loves watching DC Superhero Girls and the Lion Guard. He said Katana had something similar to Lion Guard. Is that true?
So tell me a little bit more about that. So So you're in Katana's book now. Now I'm starting to get my books confused because they all start. It's like,
well,
I'm not sure how to answer how to answer that question.
Yeah, you probably don't want to give things away too. But also for the series, can we expect? And I know that you're going to be writing more books. Can you talk about the characters you want to have in the next few books?
All of them.
Okay.
I have to be careful about what I'm allowed to say and what I can say and what I can't say. You know, we're going to be seeing a lot more of our favorites, and you're going to be introduced to maybe some minor superheroes who in the future may turn into major superheroes. The next book is about Harley Quinn, which I'm finishing up right now, which was the most fun to write. I mean, just anytime you write Harley, you're just going to be laughing the entire time. But, you know, it's like when writing Katana, delving into her backstory and coming up with the reasons why she is the way she is and who she is, that was amazing. I decided that for that, I wanted to kind of make it a mystery. And it's a mystery involving 100 swords that suddenly appear, and she has to figure out why they are there. And she starts getting these mysterious haiku from conch shells. And so the shells are kind of through the haiku leading her somewhere, but she doesn't know where or why, or if she's headed towards danger or not.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, the book is great. My daughter was loving it. Like I said, we love the work that you do. Neil said that my daughter's going to love reading the upcoming Harley Quinn book. And it's just, and I mean, I think for you, for everything you're putting into, and I know we just talked about my oldest when you see pictures of her reading and all that stuff. It's just for you, I mean, with the audience, and this audience is, I mean, I'm digging the books too, and I'm a male, you know, in my 30s. But like, you got to love the fact that everything that you're doing, the hard work and all that, it comes off really well when like kids are just picking up these books right away, right?
Thank you. It's amazing when I go to Comic-Cons, like I'll be at Denver Comic-Con this weekend. I get so many parents coming up to me and saying that this has been amazing because it's a way to share the superheroes with their daughters and their sons too. And so that means a lot to me, especially because, you know, when I first started the series, I was really scared because, I mean, I'm writing about these icons, you know, and you don't want to get them wrong because everybody grew up with them. And so to hear from adults saying, this is so cool, and I didn't know this, or I didn't know that, or I like the way you did that, is just like the ultimate compliment.
So what do you do then for that, sort of like in that specific sense? I always wondered that, like for people who have to take on other people's characters and other worlds, like how it must be really difficult putting your spin on it, like putting your mark onto something, while at the same time being like, I have to keep my hands off, you know, certain aspects of it, but, you know, but still being able to add to it and all that stuff like that. Like yeah, that must be so hard to do.
Yeah, when I first started writing, and Wonder Woman was the first book in the series, I basically hid in a closet for 4 days just looking out, you know, because like, I was like, how can I do this? I mean, she is so iconic, and I was like researching, I was reading the Jill Lepore book, I was reading everything Wonder Woman I could, and then I realized, well, wait a minute, they're asking me to do another spin on this. And so the way I rationalize it is, like, everybody knows what the moon looks like, right? And yet everyone has their version of it. So this is my version of these iconic superheroes, and it doesn't hurt at all that I have the full force of DC Comics behind me, you know? So if I ever have a question or something, I'm like, well, you know, the villain, I'm thinking this, but maybe this person and this guy or that, you know, and they've been so great. They've been so great in it. And I figured, okay, if they're okay with what I write, then I'm okay with what I write, because that's
awesome.
Yeah.
Gray Board says he thinks all your books are great. So Gray Board and everybody else listening, remember you can win her new book coming out. When is it? 4th of July. So you might even get it before the book comes out. Art's got it right here. So What do they have to email Art? Art at lifeofdad.com. And what is it?
Yeah, your favorite DC superhero girl. Doesn't even have to be I just need a character that you and your family enjoy, and we're gonna randomly pick someone to win this book. My daughter, when we first got it, they were out shopping. My wife and the kids come home. She immediately picks this book up, jumps on the sofa, and starts reading it. And she just loved it. So these books are great. Lisa, where can people find you, whether it's your website or social media, just so they can find your great work?
I'm on Facebook at Lisa Yee 1. I'm on Twitter at Lisa Yee 1, and I'm at lisayee.com for my website.
Nice.
Is it the number one or spelled out one?
The number one. The number one. And I'm on Instagram, and I think that's either Lisa Yee or Lisa Yee 1. And I apologize to all the other Lisa Yees who get my emails and people tweeting them and things like that. But we're actually all friends now.
That's awesome. Lisa, we appreciate you taking the time. Continued success with everything you got going in the future. Can't wait to see the Harley Quinn book. I know my kids and I are going to be, chomping at the bit to read that. But we really appreciate taking the time to chat with us today.
Thank you. It's been fun. I'm sorry I almost destroyed the internet.
We all did that together. Don't worry about it.
Good. Okay, it's not just me.
Like, the internet can't handle this much awesome all in one spot.
That's right. I like that.
It's a vortex of everything.
Also, too, there's, between my stuff and then obviously Lisa's stuff, that's awesome back there. There was like too much cool, like you said, too much awesomeness. So that's the internet couldn't handle. Nice, very cool. So everybody, we appreciate you checking out the Geek Show. Remember, you can win a copy. Just email me Art at lifeofdad.com. Your favorite DC superhero high character, and you have a chance to win the book. From all of us here at the Geek Show, we appreciate you checking out the show. I think we're gonna have a bonus show tomorrow, and then we're gonna go back next week on Thursdays as well. So for Patrick and myself and our special guest Lisa Yee, thank you.